Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to diagnose and replace a belt or belts on a Hoover wind tunnel self-propelled. Now this particular vacuum cleaner, just so you can see it, this is the front of the machine and this is the power drive. So it's got this on-off, it's got this cable here, this adjusting handle. So it's important that you flip this in the off position when you flip it over. And in my experience, it's been the easiest to work on it like this when it's locked in the upright position. In other words, it's shaped like an L. It's locked upright like that. And then the power drive assembly or the handle is locked in the off position. So first thing that you want to do is you can remove the 4 screws on the base plate. Take those out. Next thing is you're going to want to, there's a small clip right here, and you can take a flat screwdriver and you can pry that, and then you can take that clip off, and you'll see there's a little tab right there that the clip holds on to. That's usually a little detail that most people don't see, and then they try to take it and they end up breaking this piece off. Okay, so from here what you have is you've got your rubber belt and your V-belts, okay? Now, one thing that people do very often is they assume that their V-belt is stretched out because, see, look, it's all loose. It's not spinning, right? Well, people forget that when this vacuum goes into the upright position, and I'll demonstrate that by I'm gonna hit this handle release pedal, and then I'm gonna lift the nozzle upwards just so you can see it. The pulley, there's a tensioner pulley that actually puts tension on this V-belt right here, and so when you put it in the back position, the V-belt will engage from this pulley to the brush roll, and then you'll get it rotating. When you put it in lock position, when I'm spinning this belt drive, your brush roll is designed to stop spinning, and that's by design so that you can have the carpet and floor mode on the front. So you've got that notch, and obviously if you're doing this and your brush roll is not turning, you do need to make sure that you have it in the carpet position. If it's in the hard floor position, it essentially locks that tensioner pulley up, and it prevents it from putting the belt under tension, and therefore the brush roll does not turn when you put the handle in the back position. Okay, so you do need to make sure that you have it in the carpet position. And if your brush roll is still not turning, then it's likely, based on my experience, that this belt here is either broken or stretched, your flat belt. So you can take this off if it's already broken, just pull it out. And I'm going to show you just how stretched out this belt is compared to the original. And these vacuums are kind of notorious for going through belts. So you can see here, this is an original belt, Hoover belt, and then this is the one that's in there. So it's quite a bit stretched out, which is what happens is it'll lose its ability to drive this pulley without slipping, and then you'll have your brush slipping. Now the other thing that you want to take a look at too is you can pull your brush roll out by this point, and then you can pull it through the belt. And then sometimes you got to push this nozzle down just to make the gap bigger right down there to pull off around the pulley. And you can check here to see if your belt is dropping below the surface of the brush roll. If it is, which this one is, you can see how there's a gap. Let's see if I can get the right light. Right there, you can kind of see it. So there's a drop down. So that's usually an indicator for me on when it's a good time to replace that belt. The other thing that you can look for is cracks, any major cracks. You can flip it inside out and just look, if it's got cracks. So generally these belts last a long time, so you don't have to replace these belts very often. In this case, because it's worn so much, this may be the original belt. We'll go ahead and put a new one in, and you can see the new belt is actually sitting just slightly proud. So if it's flush or even just a little below, you're really and even in this case, honestly, is actually probably going to be okay. But just for preventative things, you know, if this belt just broke, then I'm going to put a new belt in and send it out the door with a new belt. So so in this case, we're going to put a new belt in, the V-belt in. But like I said, don't assume that you need to replace that belt just because you think it's too loose, because you got to remember that tensioner assembly. So you put your brush roll in, and then get your brush roll back in place here. Put your end caps in place. And then this part here is a little tricky. What you're going to do is you're going to get it down, fed down around that motor shaft, right down there. So get that belt around the motor shaft first. Kind of work it around there. Okay, now you got it around there, and then with two hands, this is the way I do it. I have, you know, one thumb keeping the belt on the pulley, and then my other thumb is rotating the pulley. So I'll show you. And then I got to keep it down there and then keep pushing until it completely rotates around. And then you're going to rotate back around, and it should center itself on that crowned pulley. And that's how you install that belt. And then you can go ahead and get your base plate put back on and put your screws in, and then you're good to go. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and if you found it valuable, feel free to let me know in the comments. If you found it unhelpful, let me know in the comments. I appreciate your time watching. Have a great day.